For the next few problems, we're going to use this set of directions that asks us to identify some key features of the parabola, identify the endpoints of the lattice rectum, graph it, and then identify the directrix and the axis of symmetry. So here we go. We've got our first equation, and I'm going to rewrite it as x minus 0 quantity squared equals negative 20 times y minus 0. So you can see the h and k directly, and you can see here that the vertex is going to be located at the origin. We also see that x is squared. That means this will be a function and the parabola will open either up or down. Because the 20 on the right hand side of the equation is negative, that tells us this parabola is going to be opening downward instead. So I'm going to draw this little sketch here to help us look at the orientation. And let's start looking at a couple other things. This negative 20 is in the 4p position. So I'm going to write 4p is equal to negative 20. Therefore, p is equal to negative 5. Now, let's use all this to draw our graph. The vertex is at the origin. We know from this p equals negative 5 that from our vertex we're going to go up 5 and down 5 to get to the directrix and the focus. So the focus will be 5 units below the origin, because in my little sketch it was down below, and therefore I can write that the focus will be at 0, negative 5, and the directrix will be 5 units above the origin, which will be the line y equals 5. So there's our focus and directrix labeled. Now we need to draw in the curve and figure out where is the lattice rectum and how wide do I draw this curve. The lattice rectum is going to be 2p units to the left and 2p units to the right in terms of how we draw it, and its length will be 4p, actually the absolute value of 4p. So we see this negative 20, we take the absolute value, which is positive 20, and that tells us it's going to be 20 units long, stretching 10 units to the left and to the right of the focus. And through that I can then draw in the curve itself. So part B wants us to identify the endpoints of the lattice rectum. Well, they will be at negative 10, negative 5 and positive 10, negative 5. Graph the parabola. We've already done that for part C. Write the equation, the axis, the directrix. We've done that. The only thing we haven't drawn in is the axis of symmetry, which basically runs through the focus and the vertex, and so the axis of symmetry, which I will abbreviate AOS, is going to be the equation x equals 0, which is another name for the y-axis.